on to the next fireside chat where we shall decode how technology can separate leaders from the laggards in businesses. It's time to invite on stage Mr. Srikanth Srinivasan, VP and Head Membership, NASSCOM. We are also joined by Mr. Aditya Aggarwal, EVP, Digital Enterprise, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, an auto industry veteran with over 30 years of experience spanning supply chain, logistics, sales planning, network planning, and channel management. In his current role as the head for digital enterprise, Mr. Aggarwal is driving digital transformation initiatives across Maruti Suzuki. We extend a hearty welcome to you, sir. Over to you, Mr. Srinivasan.
No, it's okay. I think it's audible. So good morning, everyone, and thank you again and welcome to this session. As they say, the session is titled Technology Shaping Business. And in today's world, every business needs to be shaped by technology in some form or the other, right? I mean, there is a technology impact, there's a technology flavor in everything that we do. And rightfully so, I think we have with us Aditya from Maruti Suzuki. And who doesn't know Maruti Suzuki? Whose life has it not touched in this country? I mean, each one of us has some memory or the other with this organization, right? So welcome Aditya again, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Maybe, quickly we can start with to understand what, from your perspective, from the lens that you have at Maruti, what role do you think digital ecosystems play and platforms play, especially in enabling SMEs to kind of work and collaborate with a large enterprise, and how can they leverage these platforms?
Okay, am I audible? Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Good morning, everybody. Maruti has been, I would say, we printed the first invoice when we launched the first car way back in 1983. And, kind of IT and technology has been our DNA right from the beginning. However, earlier it was the days when we used to have a lot of large-scale enterprises which were dependent on other large-scale enterprises to really look at how do they take care of their requirement, how do they take care of their software needs. So we had, I was listening to the earlier speaker also, so we had Oracles and, Microsofts of the world who were really helping us in designing systems and looking at how do we take our IT journey forward. So, and come 2020, 2019, and there is a pandemic and suddenly things change. The way of working that we have been doing for last so many years, suddenly everything changed. And we thought that how do we look at things internally? How do we ensure that we are able to stay in touch with customers, but still, find the new way of working? And suddenly, we saw that there was a big opportunity that these SMEs were presenting us in terms of scale, in terms of agility, and in terms of their ability to kind of, change the solution to customize the solution as per the requirement of the business. So while the larger enterprises always had this advantage of having a structured product, scale, and also reach, these smaller enterprises, they were really good at agility. They were good in new tech, the emerging tech, and they were also really good in terms of their ability to change as per your requirements. So sometimes you have a structured product available from the best of the companies in the world, and their willingness to modify as per your requirements generally very, very, low. And they would rather request you that please change your way of working so that, we can accommodate the way our software is structured, the way our solutions is structured, which is not the case in case of smaller enterprise. Another advantage, I think earlier there used to be a big gap. As I said, that there was a big gap in terms of reach, in terms of the scale at which these larger enterprises used to operate. Today, that gap is getting filled up. That gap, because let's take the example of, having a server. So earlier it required a physical server. Today we have cloud available, and you are able to do everything there, and the cost is not as much as owning a server itself. So that's how, the world is changing, and these small scale enterprises are able to give good competition to the larger companies that are there. About collaboration, I think there are a lot of examples available today, and we at Maruti also collaborate with a lot of SMEs so that we can co-create solutions together, we can work together and help deliver value both for us, our organization, which is again we are a car company, and also these SMEs, so that they can also keep on improving their products. So both ways, I think the role of SMEs, startup companies particularly, has really changed the way we are looking at solutioning in our world specifically.
Great. Thank you. I think yeah, you said it right. See, it's not about today. It's not about a vendor relationship, but it's more a partner relationship, right? It's a win-win situation for both. Just to build on this whole thing about how younger companies, and I'm not saying smaller startup. I'm saying younger companies in that sense. How they kind of helped you build this whole thing. What do you think? I mean, the whole power of technology. How do you think analytics, things like analytics, data analytics, how artificial intelligence, how do you think that has kind of entrenched the whole business ecosystem?
Okay, so earlier, let me take you to some older times when you were booking the price, when you were booking a rail ticket. It used to be, go to the railway station or go to a ticket counter, you can buy the ticket at a fixed price. And there was a queue, you had to stand in the queue, though the whole system was computerized, the entire rail network, you could get a booking, everything used to be there, but still, you had to go there and get it done. Today, you can do it from your mobile. Today, there is a red bus available, which is working on a pure dynamic pricing principle, totally on demand. Today, there could be a time when you can get a red bus at 1,500 rupees, but there could be a time when you are looking at a ticket and it could be costlier than maybe an air ticket also, because the demand is like that. So this is what AI has helped in building. This is how data analytics, changes the way you live. Today there is a software available at a shop, you don't even know, but he's reading your facial expression and he's trying to find out whether you are really a customer or not. How much, what is your sentiment towards buying a car today? I can look at a customer, he's coming in with his family, he's standing close to a car, he's examining the car, he's happy about the car, the way he feels the car, and we have data analytics to say that yes, this guy seems to be, kind of inclined towards buying the car. And data analytics has helped me stitch the journey of a customer and his family for the last 20 years. So today I have a single view of customers about all his interactions with us in the last 20 years. All his surveys, all his accessories buying, his insurance renewals, we got it all stitched. In fact, wherever we have data, we can even tell him that the guy who sold him a car 5 years back, if he's still in the system, I can get the same guy to speak to him when he comes to buy the new car. Wow. That is the power of analytics.
And this is a pan-India database?
That is a pan-India database. We stitched records of almost 17 million customers.
Wow. That's pretty huge.
That is the power of data.
Absolutely. No, can't agree more. Now you're saying, I mean, you talked about, so again, as Maruti, you kind of, you have a differentiated model, right? You have your dealer network, showrooms, and you have a Nexa, which is like a company-owned model, and then your differentiated models there. Now, so what are some of those large emerging technology trends that you're looking at to kind of leverage? Because obviously you're having a differentiated approach to the customer. You're trying to get to understand the customer persona and get there. So what technologies you think?
Okay. So you talked about Nexa. Incidentally, Nexa is also a result of some amount of effort that we did in terms of finding out what the customer wants using data. So when we were looking at customers who broke away relationship from Maruti and they were not getting back to us, we tried to find out what is happening to them. And somehow we got this feedback by doing all this research that these customers kind of, they've grown up and they've outgrown Maruti. They said that what you offer today, my lifestyle is not at that level. I have grown, I have evolved, and I'm looking for finer things in life. When I go to the airport, I like to stay in the lounge. I look at 5-star hotels, and the kind of treatment that you give in your showrooms is not really worth it. So I'm kind of outgrown Maruti, and so that's how Nexa was born, and that is how Nexa was conceptualized, that how can we give a differentiated experience to our customers. So this is the power. Again, I'll go back to that data question. This is how we change and curate as per the customer requirement. Emerging trends. Now we had launched the Grand Vitara, and suddenly the vehicles were not available because we launched the Grand Vitara and the first vehicle was supposed to land in our showrooms in about a month's time, more than a month's time. And the customers were coming and they wanted to see the car. What do we do? So there is a metaverse available today where you can, there's an exaverse available which was created in less than 30 days, incidentally by an SME like you. And he created the whole Nexaverse and he implemented it across 400 showrooms with the Oculus device, with the training, everything done in flat 21 days. Wow. That is the power of an SME, and large structured organizations, believe me, they said no, it can't be done. Fantastic. So, you know, that is how you are able to, so these are technologies and these are trends which will become larger and larger in future.
Absolutely, true. Thank you. That was, I mean, I think as the next further step in saying, what do you think, I mean, I'm sure you're tracking as Maruti some of the larger technology trends that are, you know, impacting globally all businesses. What do you think, and what would be your take on a couple of those technologies that people should focus on, especially if they are looking at automobile as a area of business?
So I think I'll take this question slightly differently. So you know, for solving any problem that a business has, there are multiple solutions available. You could have a deep tech solution, you could have a simple solution, and it is also dependent on ability of the organization to really afford that kind of a solution. So today, if I was to evolve what cloud should I go to, I would not look at what they are offering. I would first think that I would look at is what kind of cost advantage will I get over a next 5-year period, 10-year period as I mature over that cloud. And then I will look at, because services are almost similar. So, you know, those things are very, very important. So sometimes only tech is not important. What is important is how well are you able to understand the requirement of your customer and how best are you able to position your solution for that customer. So some of the trends that are emerging, I would just talk about. So there is a big requirement for things like, if you have, I'm sure most of you from the tech background, quantum computing. So today there are complex problems. Now I'll take an example from our case. We have a complex problem of simulating a car crash and seeing how the crumple zones would work and what kind of stress are coming on each of the parts or each of the members of the structure, of the vehicle structure, and try to see where we need to strengthen or where we need to, you know, give some kind of impact absorption capability. So those equations, those calculations are very, very complex, and it might take up to, you know, 2 to 3 weeks for one equation set to really, you know, solve, and that is the amount of time it takes. But with quantum computing, you can do it in less than 3-4 days. I mean, that's how the time gets reduced. If you look at NFTs, or if you look at blockchain, very efficient in seeing how your supply chain is moving, how the part has traversed from a manufacturer to OE to, you know, the dealer to the customer, and what kind of journey has it really gone through. So end of life, it's becoming so important these days. So you really know how to really track something and then see how it is moving across the entire value chain. Great. So some of these blockchain, NFT, quantum computing, facial recognition, very important these days. You know, there are a lot of softwares which are doing this today, and that combined with, as I said, analytics, gives you real power in terms of what the customer is feeling today.
True. Thank you. So, just to build on this, I mean, since you kind of, as you head the digital enterprise, I'm sure you talk to varied kind of people, right? SMEs, small companies, startups, and so on and so forth. Given that in the audience we have a lot of younger companies, smaller companies, if there were 2 or 3 companies on an equal scale in terms of offering, what do you think will be that one quality which will have the edge when it comes to the final decision? So what people can focus on?
Yeah. So if it was a startup, it would be very easy. But for SMEs, I think the biggest advantage, or I would say their biggest USP would be their ability to customize the solution, understand the customer requirement, and customize the solution as per the requirement of the customer.
Great.
And you know, that is the key, because until you understand what the customer is really looking at and what is it that he really wants,
yes,
you know, trying to push what you have doesn't work ever. It doesn't work. So first you understand, then you tell him that this is what you want and this is what I have to offer, and this is how I'm going to bridge this.
True.
And if that is sorted, I think nobody is going to walk away from taking a decision, unless it is on other parameters like cost, time, or maybe you know, better option available. He will definitely consider your option.
Great. No, 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 thank you. That was indeed good. We have a small AV. Can I request for the AV, please?
So
and then if we have the time, we can take one or two questions.
Yeah, so I'll just talk about this AV. This AV is about how we are working with smaller companies, mostly in the startup areas, and how are we, trying to create solutions with them, trying to manage this ecosystem, and trying to make it in a way more sustainable, and trying to develop this ecosystem so that they are able to do much larger projects, and they are able to scale up in terms of not just valuation but also in terms of what value they offer. So I think that is our objective of doing this program, and so I'll just request you to see this and see how a big corporate would really work with a smaller enterprise and how can it take forward.
Yeah. That would be of great interest to everyone here.
So do we have the AV?
Yeah, I think take some time. I think it's there. Thank you.
Maruti Suzuki Innovation leverages open innovation to collaborate with startups and academia to create an ecosystem that provides the foundation for technology and eco-solutions for the automobile space, while also contributing to the betterment of the society. Based on a philosophy of innovate, collaborate, and co-create. This new approach to innovation is harnessing new opportunities in the field of automobile and mobility through its various programs. Various programs under the umbrella of Maruti Suzuki Innovation aim to co-create with startups at every stage in their life cycle journey. With a comprehensive structure of programs, we nurture an ecosystem for innovative thinking. With a vision to empower early-age startups, Maruti Suzuki Nurture is a free incubation program powered by IIM-CIP. Maruti Suzuki Incubation Program is a one-time initiative in partnership with IIM Bangalore and SME to co-create with startups on high-risk disruptive technologies. Mobility and Automobile Innovation Lab, a unique accelerator program that engages startups and accelerates their growth at the MVP stage by creating a nurturing environment for fostering growth. The Mobility Challenge provides a platform where startups from Series A to unicorns from India and overseas get to showcase their cutting-edge technology solutions in the mobility space. Maruti Suzuki Innovation Fund provides these startups with the required financial support to scale and grow. The Entrepreneurship Challenge is where the selected participants are offered appropriate guidance, mentorship, and resources to transform their ideas into business models to generate revenue streams for Maruti Suzuki. These programs are enriching Maruti Suzuki through diverse technologies that help drive innovation in mobility to the next level. Inspired to create the best in mobility solutions, Maruti Suzuki Innovation also provides startups with a variety of benefits that not only help them innovate, but create value in the mobility ecosystem. By joining forces with the brightest minds, we aim to drive progressive thinking, fueled by digital innovations. We are committed to bring the very best to Indian roads, to create a newer and better tomorrow.
Wow, this is good. Thank you. I think this is not only impressive, I think this is very motivating, and I think you've shown a lot of opportunity for people, all people sitting here. Thank you. This is great. We just have a few seconds left, so if I can just take one question, kindly keep it brief. Kindly identify yourself. Yeah, I can see somebody there. Yeah, please. Can we have the mic there?
Hi, This is Sunil, and I'm from company in Time Tech. As a big corporate, how do you identify the SMEs who have solutions that you need? How do you find them out there?
Okay, one way of really looking at is, we have these programs that that the AB showed. So we have something called a MAIL program, where the problem statements, the broad areas are already listed on our website, where we want solutions to really come in. So these are available on the website itself, and we run cohorts. We run 2 cohorts every year, where where people can apply, and if they are in one of these areas, we look for a matching problem statement, which will kind of help us work with them very closely. Then we have something called a mobility challenge, which we do in collaboration with T-Hub. There the problem statement is already defined, and NASSCOM, T-Hub, NSR Cell, these are some of the organizations which are helping us scout SMEs, startups, people who can find solutions for these kind of problems. So we have a lot of ecosystem partners who work with us. Incidentally, we started working with Google and Intel also through their startup programs, through their connects with the industries, with the other companies, smaller companies. They are trying to also source the SMEs for us, so that we can kind of collaborate and work together. So if there is a match between what you offer and what the problem statement that we have, we are more than willing to work. In fact, on the software side, we look at a lot of companies. We keep updating our data bank in terms of what people, how many people, what kind of, if we look at software development, for example. So we keep doing a 2-year exercise where we take inputs from the field, we take inputs from all our startup ecosystem partners, and then we reach out to these people, and we invite them for a process where they can showcase what they can do, and then through a process of shortlisting, we invite such companies also to work with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I guess it's time, and thank you very much. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for joining us, and
thank you so much. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much for all of you enjoying this discussion.
It was a great session and some great takeaways indeed, which greatly resonate with our audience. I now request Mr. Srikanth to kindly hand over a memento to Mr. Aditya. Also a memento for Mr. Srikanth. We spoke about a number of C's ranging from cars to co-creation, collaboration and cloud. I would take the opportunity to talk about one more C, which is circular economy. At NASSCOM, we truly embrace circularity, and we are proud to share that this is a carbon neutral event, and we have tried to make the plastic usage to the bare minimum. Also, ladies and gentlemen, kindly do not throw away your lanyards. If you would notice, they are not made of plastic, and if you look at the back side, they are embedded with marigold seeds. So you can go back and plant these papers.